Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ask Amber, and today I'm going to show you how to add facial expressions and hand gestures to your avatar in Avatar 3.0. If you haven't watched my video on how to make animation files and create your own custom animations, go ahead and go back and watch that. Though if you don't feel like making your anim files and you just want to download a set of hand gestures and facial gestures that are already done, I actually have a set that you can use on my website for both left hand and right hand. So when I look at my animation for my finger point left, it's only going to have the animations for the left hand. And when I look at my right, it's going to be the same for the right hand. So you can have different animations on your left and your right hand, or you can have them be the same. So I have all of these set up. So these hand gestures, I have my basic hand gestures, which I usually use for male, and my long nail hand gestures, which I usually use for female. And then I also have face gestures, and these are just the facial expressions. So usually when you're setting up a 2.0 avatar, you would have both your left hand, your right hand, and your facial gestures all on the same anim file. But now you're going to want them all separate. You're going to want a left, a right, and your facial gestures on different anim files. Once again, if you want all of these and the hand gestures, I have those available for download on my website. So go ahead, look there, and download those if you want to start from my base instead of starting from scratch and creating all of your own. But now that I have all of my anim files, I'm going to go ahead and go back into my assets folder. And we're going to start with the gestures layer. So when I click on my avatar and I look at my avatar descriptor, you'll see that I don't have anything in my gestures layer. So the next step is to go into your VRC SDK, Examples 3, Animations, and Controllers. These are all the preset animation controllers that the VRChat SDK has already set up for you. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this hands layer controller. I'm going to call this gesture layer. Then I'm going to go ahead and add that gesture layer to my animation controllers in my animations folder that I've made in the previous videos. Now I'm going to go into that folder and I'm going to double click on my gestures layer. When you open it up, you'll see an empty screen like this, but if you look closely over on the left, you'll see that you have left hand and right hand. So when you click on left hand, you'll see you have all of these different options that they give you already that are just the generic hand gestures that you would already have. I'm going to click on my left hand, go into fist, and I'm just going to change this to my left hand fist. Then I'm going to change my open animation, my point, peace sign, rock and roll, gun, and thumbs up. I'm going to change all of these with this motion. So I'm going to click open. Once I've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the right hand and do the same thing. So like I said before, you can do different gestures for different hands. So you can have your left hand one whole set, and you can have your right hand a whole different set. So once you have this all set up, you're going to go back into your scene, click on your avatar descriptor, and you're going to move your gestures layer into the gestures section. So now if you want to make facial expressions to go with these hand gestures, you're going to have to put that on a different layer. It's going to go on the FX layer. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this gesture layer we just made, and I'm going to call this FX layer. And then I'm going to double click on that, and you'll see it has everything the same as the gestures layer. We're going to want to click on the settings for the left hand, and we're going to want to change the mask to none, because that mask basically makes it so that when this trigger pulls, the only thing that's moving is on the hand. So this is masking off everything except for that left hand. And so we want to change this to none because we don't want to mask off our face, because then it won't work on our face. And then we're going to do the same on this. We're going to just change the mask to none. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a facial expression on each one of these for the left and the right hand. So I'm going to click on my fist, and I'm actually going to go into my animations so that I can just drag those in there myself. So for my fist, I click my fist a lot on accident, so I don't really want an angry face on my fist, so I'm just going to put my small grin on there. For open hand, I'm going to put my cute happy. For point, I'm going to put surprised. For my peace or victory sign, I'm going to put my O face. For rock and roll, which I have as basically like the middle finger, I'm going to put my frown on that. For the finger gun, I'm going to do ooh woo. The thumbs up, I'm going to do the smile. And I know I'm not going to remember this, so I'm just going to go ahead and rename this. Okay, now that those are named, I'm going to just go ahead into the right hand and do the same thing. So for fist, I'm going to do the small grin. For open hand, I'm going to do cute happy. You can do different facial expressions for the different hands. I like to do the same on both hands. Although if you had one hand that was doing the middle finger and the other hand was doing something else for rock and roll, you might want one that shows up angry and one that shows up happy. I'm not going to do that on this model, but it's very easy to do. You just put a different animation file that you've created into the space for it. Point is surprised. Okay, now that those are all set up, when you go into your scene, you need to go back to your avatar descriptor, go into your controllers, and put your FX layer on the FX layer. And that is how you add face gestures to match your hands and your hand gestures. You have a lot more versatility in this than you did in the last one, so you can do a lot more different things. And it's really cool and fun. So I suggest that you play around with them. If you want to use my downloads, feel free. You're more than welcome to use them on your avatar. Or you can make your own using the same animation technique that I showed in one of my previous 3.0 videos. I really hope that this helps you out with your animations and that you understand a little bit more about how to add facial and hand gestures to your avatar. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.